Kiss. Welcome to our second podcast in this series discussing Kiss's 2024 headline sponsorship of the Alternative Legal Show. Joining me today, we have Steve Parrott, Managing Director of Alternative Events, and Emily Jenkins, Chief Operating Officer. And from the Kiss team, I've got Nick Hain, Head of Legal Services, and Dave Ricketts, Head of Business Development. It's now time to hand over to Emily and Steve for our Q&A session today. Guys, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Good to see everyone again. Okay, I'm going to kick off with the first question to the guys at Quiss. So, first question. Please, guys, give me a brief introduction to Quiss technology.
How brief do you want it? Okay, let's go right back to the beginning. We were established in 1988 with just over 100 staff headquartered in Tamworth in Staffordshire. We joined the legal market in 1999. That was our first foray into legal, and we quickly developed a set of services. So I suppose it was managed services in its infancy back then. We've since developed that. We have now a whole range of support and service modules for the sort of typical law firm, if you like. It's fair to say that 80% of our managed service clients are legal, varying in size and geographical location all over England and Wales. And I think it's a testament to the service and support we give these clients that many of them have renewed multiple contracts during that term.
Brilliant. Thanks for the overview. Emily, over to you.
So you work extensively within the legal field. What currently are the main technology drivers in the sector for you?
Thank you, Emily. Big question. And I see that Steve's in Benidorm, all tanned up. 25 degrees, is it, Steve?
It's 25 and building over the weekend.
25 degrees.
Yeah, sun cream at the ready.
He's obviously earning some money. Anyway, to answer your question, Emily, it's a big subject area. As you've highlighted, we do work extensively within the legal field. Some of the areas that we're finding are on top of the mind, people want to talk about, investigate, do proof of concepts with our things around document automation. Sorry, I'll get my teeth in, which is a big area for us as well with the Power Platform. We've got a sister company, Circle, that support us on some of the bigger deployments, but we've also got some internal skills that can support our clients. And we've got several case studies due out shortly around this topic. We've also recently done a podcast on it, so please, that'll come out shortly as well, probably maybe the end of April. Another big area, data analytics. A lot of law firms now are really interested in the fine tuning their business. Where's the money? What does their business look like in terms of the day-to-day operations? So data analytics plays a real big part. No question needs to be. This question needs to be answered with AI. AI is massive. It's going to be an industry change, and not only for legal, but for probably every industry that we know of today. The applications of AI technology, like machine learning and natural language processing, are driving innovation in this sector. Some of the big guys have already taken this on board. I think we touched on this, Steve, on our last podcast, but AI is going to be an industry changer. Mm-hmm. You would expect me to say cloud computing, but cloud computing still drives a significant amount of our revenue. It's still a real big topic for not only firms, but a lot of consultants that we deal with, especially in our case, the Azure platform, but we do look at private, and we also do look at on-prem still, but the main topic of conversation is around cloud computing. One of the areas of cloud which is important is cost management, but this is a question in its own. And finally, we're finding that our clients' demands are changing. So the expectations around technology, around onboarding, is still a key driver that we're seeing today. This sounded right, Emily. I did make some ers and ums, but we battle on.
Hi guys. Okay, so looking ahead to the Alternative Legal IT Conference in September, one of the big subject areas we're going to cover on the agenda, which leads me into the next question, is cloud is going to be a big topic at our event. So what is the Quiss position on the area of cloud? Over to you guys.
Yeah, I think that's a big question for everybody, and it has been for some time. I mean, there's varying points of view as to whether you ought to be looking at a private or indeed a public cloud. I think our stance, although we have our own private DC, our stance has always been down the Microsoft Azure route, and I think there's a couple of reasons for that. Certainly, in terms of the investment required to keep. We're all worried about security. It's a major factor when anybody's making a technology change, and certainly, everybody should be well aware of the issues that cyber risks carry. And when you start looking at the big boys like Microsoft, AWS, Google, nobody can make the investments that these guys can in security. So I think that's a serious play. But I think another major factor is the fact that it's all about ownership. Certainly, let's look at the Azure cloud. When a client takes out an agreement with Microsoft, it's direct with Microsoft. So if we are the managed service provider involved with that, we are the facilitator of that agreement. We don't own it. So for the client, from the client's perspective, if, for argument's sake, they actually fell out with their MSP, it's a paperwork transaction to actually change from one provider to another. So there's the data stays where it is, and I think there's been stories abound over the last few months of people trying to exit private data centers for all sorts of reasons, and I think that really takes things away. So it strengthens the argument for the public cloud.
Excellent, thank you, Nick. Handing back to Emily.
Thank you. So, what value does Quiss add to its clients?
I think I'm taking this question, Nick. I mean, there's several answers to this question, Emily. Access to specialised expertise. The business itself has invested heavily in skills, from networking to cloud, to licensing, to service desk, compliance and security. And a lot of our clients, although fairly large, wouldn't have the budget to invest across all platforms like that. So their ability for them to kind of plug into expertise at any particular time is a real value to them. It's a value that Quiss brings to the market. We invested heavily in our own security and compliance position. We have our own compliance manager, security manager, that works not only for ourselves but also works with several of our clients. Security in terms of our networks, the service desk, is a big investment for us, and it continues to be a big investment because we have to stay ahead of the curve. We do bring cost savings to our clients. The service desk at the moment is circa 35, 38 people. And it's, we put a model out there which is really a cost per user per month. So if you overlay that with the specialised expertise that those guys have, that's a real value driver. Finally, we do a lot of industry events. We put a lot of thought leadership out there. We have a strong partner network. The events that we do are looking to drive peer-to-peer collaboration, looking to introduce firms to each other in the same area. So we've recently done several events where we've invited heads of firms to the Ivy restaurant on an afternoon, basically for peer-to-peer introduction, learning, and it's a surprise how even in the same town or city, a lot of these firms don't really talk, don't really get together that often. So it's a real value that we're trying to bring to the market with our colleagues at Agilico. Anything to add there, Nick?
Well, I think the only thing I would add, really, in terms of the way our services are provided, I think when you look at a lot of MSPs, the technology is a given. Anybody in our position should be able to service and support any technology, whether that's on-premise, private cloud, or public cloud. I think it's the service wrap that's important. In terms of what we offer as a business, we have our own training facility, produced well over 500 videos of our own. The clients can have access to, We have a highly skilled project management team that work with our clients to not only deliver projects that we are directly involved in, but maybe assist them in things outside of that, office moves and things like that, which is, a lot of firms, struggle to manage on their own. We've done that for many clients over the years. And I think when you start looking at even down to hardware maintenance, that's where we started life as a hardware maintainer. So effectively, it's an all-encompassing support wrap, which means that our clients don't have to go out to numerous third parties to actually pull all this together. So we own it. So we become the managed service provider, owning the majority of the support that's related to that particular client.
Thank you very much. Very interesting. So back over to you, Steve.
Thank you very much. Okay, guys, just again, relating it back to September and your headline sponsorship of Alternative Legal IT, one of the topics we're going to cover, but also I want to put it to you, this question. Do you think and believe that cyber security is still the number one technology concern for law firms? What do you think, guys?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I think we see that on a day-to-day basis. I think going back to what I said a little earlier in this piece, the recent events have highlighted that even more. I still think we find that there are a lot of firms that think it's not going to happen to us. But let's be realistic; it's going to happen to everybody at some point. And law firms are a prime target. For a variety of reasons. So it needs to be number one on people's agenda. Now I realise that you're never going to shut all doors. You can spend as much money as you like, but there's always going to be a way in somewhere. But it's just so important that firms actually look at their security posture. Take external advice if necessary. There are a lot of consultants out there who specialise in security. Listen to what they've got to say. Invest at the right level. Your business is absolutely critical. And if it's reputational damage as well as access to data and all sorts of things. So it needs to be taken really seriously, and businesses need to be abreast of what's out there to help them.
What you're finding here as well, Steve, is there's two technologies converging quite heavily together, and that's AI and cybersecurity. And what you're finding is that you need to have an AI defensive cybersecurity posture to address the AI attack cybersecurity issues that you're going to be facing. It's going to be a really big play. If you combine that with the hybrid work environment we're still running at the moment for most people, cyber is a big subject area. It's the number one concern, closely followed, I've got to say, by cost optimization. So cost is still a real concern for everybody. But as Nick's just highlighted there with this subject, the evolving threats, it is just continuous. And as they are an attractive target for cyber criminals, trying to keep up obviously with budget constraints is massively important, but also just the awareness of cyber within firms needs to be within board discussions every month, because if it does happen to you, it can take you down, and it can take you down quickly.
Great. Well, I look forward to discussing this further at our alternative event with our managing partners and IT directors, and everyone's obviously welcome to come and talk to Quiss. So we look forward to having that discussion.
Thank you very much, Steve. Will you still have a tan then?
I still will, indeed. I will be topping it up whilst in Bournemouth for the rest of the summer.
Of course.
In Bournemouth? Yeah, honestly.
Better
wealthy individual Nick is a wealthy guy.
What Emily, over to you for the final question of the day.
To get them off this quick.
So you're still privately owned. What value do you think this brings to your clients?
I think there's a lot of value in being privately owned. I mean, it means we're far more responsive and potentially more agile. And I think it's something that we are fiercely proud of, to be perfectly honest. The original founder of the business back in '88 is still in the business. He's our chairman. it brings a lot of stability to a business. The directors all work in and on the business on a day-to-day basis, and I think that's absolutely key. And certainly from a client's perspective, the whole leadership team are completely visible to clients. So for whatever reason, whether that's doing presentations or inviting clients around to the business, these guys get involved on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's quite important. I think there's a lot of firms that have faceless owners, and I think it's a difficult, certainly from the law firm clients that we deal with, they really do appreciate the fact that they're talking to the people that run the business. These are the guys that make the decisions. We don't. I could get the MD on a call in 5 minutes if we had to, and discuss something openly with a client, and I think that's really important, and it's something that our clients really buy into.
Agree. It's confidence, isn't it? Agreed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We also have a long-term perspective on the business. And what does that actually mean? Well, it allows us to take a long-term view of the relationships rather than being driven by short-term financial requirements or targets or shareholders. We've all been involved in businesses where everyone's really running month to month. Decisions are being made because of the EBITDA number, or the fact that there is some number to hit because somebody needs to get paid out. And that long-term view also allows us to invest in the right people and the right technology and in the industry itself. So this kind of reflects on our investment over the last 10 to 12 years in the alternative legal events, headline sponsor this year, but we've been a part of it for a long time. We've been a part of lots of other legal activities for many years. We've got a strong partnership network that was built around firms that have got a legal focus as well. So we feel a lot to the market. Our independence, we believe, is one of our key advantages, especially to firms that want to work with people who own the business, have got the right ideologies, and they've got their right interests in mind.
Brilliant.
Fabulous.
I'm filling up here, boys. I'm filling up.
Well, needless to say, go to alternativeevents.co.uk, register to come and meet Quiss at the Legal IT event, and come and hear a little more about cloud and cyber. But we think you guys are amazing. We've been working with you forever, so thank you. It's good to hear your thoughts today.
The relationship we've got with Alternative, to be perfectly honest, it's a business and an event that we've supported, as you know, for many years, and will continue to do so. So great, looking forward to it.
And we'd like to thank you guys for your time. I know this is the first time we've ever done this with a headline sponsor. Hopefully people will copy some of the ideas moving forward, and we'll do a few more things in the run-up to the September event. But please,
you're an innovator,
if you want to,
Dave. You're an innovator. You're a leader.
Tell you what, leader of men. But thank you very much anyway. Okay.
All right.
Absolutely.
Stay well.
Brilliant.
Cheers, everybody.
Thanks, everyone,
Thank
joining.
you, Becky, as well.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.